Hey guys, I hope that you're doing well. I don't know how all of this works, and honestly, I myself have never been an expressive person, at least not on the internet. This is my first time putting myself out there, so I request you all to be nice. Currently, I'm going through a rough patch in my life and I just want to vent. All of the problems arrived in my life at once and I have no idea where to start from, but okay, I'll give it a try. First of all, my name is Penn, and I'm 27 years of age. My fiancée, let's call her Amy. She left me for my brother, and I feel miserable, and I have no idea what all I did to deserve this. But anyways, please let me start. I live with my father, my stepbrother, let's call him Joe, and my stepmother, as my own mother passed away a long time ago. Anyways, when me and Joe were children, we had a really good bond. As we grew up, we simply grew apart. I guess that's common, and you might agree with me on the fact that siblings who are close as kids can get distant once they grow up. But not only this. We didn't just become distant, but things started to get bad. He always saw me as a competition and never appreciated my presence anywhere. Whenever I used to come with a prize, or an achievement for that matter, he never used to appreciate me for anything and would look down upon me. Anyways, during our university days, he used to stay away from me and I rarely saw him anywhere. After our graduation, we both got employed at our father's company as basic employees, and still, there was a lot of competition between us. Personally, I never saw him as a competition, but as my brother. After some time, I proposed to my girlfriend, Amy, and we've been dating since our university days, and we got engaged, but Joe was not happy about it. Now, let me tell you a little backstory about all this. While we were studying at the university, Amy and I liked each other at the same time. Even Joe had a crush on Amy. I got to know this when Amy and I got together and Joe created such a scene. He's always liked Amy apparently, but she chose me over him, which made him resent me even more. He always used to give me side eyes and everything. At that time, I was really happy with her, thinking that I would have a good life ahead. And simultaneously, somewhere down the line, I had also hoped for Joe to accept and forget the past. You see, Amy always used to tell me that she loved me, and would never choose Joe over me as if she wanted to. She would have done that a long time ago, and obviously since I loved her, I always used to believe her. Joe was so jealous that he did not even show up to our engagement party. Also, one thing that I forgot to mention. During our relationship days, Joe tried multiple times to lure Amy, but she never gave in. After both Amy and I started to work, we decided that it was time that we got married and settled down. Our wedding preparations begun and everybody was super happy about everything. 3 days before the wedding, our father had thrown a dining party for everyone. While all of us were present there, he got up for a speech and by the end of it announced that Joe is going to be the head manager of the company, as his retirement is near and just wants to relax, and pass on the company to his sons. Everybody cheered for Joe, including me, and when I saw him, he was elated. However, Amy started acting a bit strange right after that announcement happened. Yeah, I saw her expression just straight up change, guys. Almost like she was regretting something. All of a sudden, after that get-together, I saw her appreciating Joe, which apparently she's never done. I saw her holding on to him a little bit more, which was weird. And that night she did not utter a word to me, and even I did not bother her, thinking she might be tired or something. I asked her the next morning if she was okay or did something happen, to which she replied yes and went away. Honestly, I thought she was just nervous about the wedding, as all of us should be. So I just ignored her weird behavior as wedding jitters and did not think anything about it. Later that evening, I was looking at her. Amy was nowhere to be found. I went to her room to see all of my dreams of settling down with the love of my life destroyed in a matter of seconds. I saw her in bed with Joe, and almost had a mental breakdown at the moment. While we all just looked at each other, Joe simply gave me a smirk and left the room. I could clearly see how normal Amy was with all this, and how she did not give a darn about anything that happened just now. She simply asked me to leave. I went to my room, locked myself in, and started crying about everything that I saw. For a moment, I wanted to believe all of this was not real, but it was too late for that. After some time, I gathered myself back and directly went to Amy to confront her, and when I heard her, I got even more furious. She announced to me that she's going to cancel our wedding and is going to marry Joe as he is more capable than me. She humiliated me and told me that I would not be able to take care of her like Joe would. Financially, he had become more powerful and that I would be working under him. Well, the change that I saw in her was unbelievable, as if she was somebody else and not the person I engaged. 'Cause as much as I remember, I never agreed to marry a gold digger. She said that I would not be able to fulfill the desires that she had, and also the fact that it would be an embarrassment for a woman like her to marry a man like me who is low in status and cannot afford lavish living. I was taken back and realized that she, thought this about me this whole time. So the conclusion is that she left me for Joe and of course for his money and power. So now our wedding has been canceled, and it's sad to see all of the preparations that were going on are coming to an end. It's hard time for all of us, and the only two people who are content right now are Joe and Amy. You know what the worst part of all this is? That Amy did not hesitate once before leaving me for my stepbrother, and now I realize that she's nothing but a gold digger, who will easily get manipulated for the sake of money and has zero regard for anyone. Since the wedding is called off, I think that now I cannot do anything, as Amy made her choice clear, and I firmly believe I would not want to put up with such a woman who is so easily influenced. Currently, my life is a living hell, as wherever I'm going, people have been constantly sympathizing with me, just because a woman left me as I'm not, quote, capable. Our parents also sat us down to sort things out about, me. But Amy and Joe have decided to get engaged even if the family did not agree. They announced it in front of everyone that they loved each other and that they're seeing a future together, and I'm left all alone. Joe proposed to Amy in front of me to be his wife, and I have no choice except to watch them fulfill all their desires to live a happy life ahead. My reason for being here is summed up in the fact that I'm finding it hard to move on from all that's happened since the last few, and accepting the fact that Amy could do such a thing. Not only that, I'm also upset about the fact that she called me incapable in front of our family, who did not say anything at all. I felt so alone and miserable that currently I'm residing separately, as I cannot stand them together at the moment, and I do realize that all of this is going to be really hard on me, but I'm trying my best just to move on. But I just can't find a way to put this all behind me. So here I am, opening up to a bunch of strangers and asking for advice as to what I should do now. I seriously can't stand these two, and that's why I'm going to continue to live separately till the time I'm ready to face it all. But I don't know for how long I can avoid them and ignore the whole situation. So I could really use some advice right now because my mind is a mess at the moment. So tell me guys, what exactly would you do? And what should I do? Update number 1. Good evening, everyone. Long time, yeah, I think so. So I never knew what I would be back here despite not being an internet person. I'm back here after 5 months and a major update for you all. I have to tell you all so much. Firstly, thank you. I want to say that to each and every one of you who came in my support. I'm doing well. Not that I've moved on completely, but I do feel I'm progressing. It's sad to see so many of you going through a similar experience, and I'm also proud of you all. And to all the people who were criticizing me for shaming my family and everything, which family put you through misery like this? Come on. Please stop spreading so much negativity. Anyways, coming back to the update, right? So, as I've already said, that I'm taking my time to be better, and it's not been easy at all. But that's not what I'm here for. So, I'll be joining as the CEO of my father's company. I know this is a big surprise, rather a shock for all of you, as it was for me, but it is what it is. Let me tell you what happened. 2 months back, Amy and Joe were getting engaged, and obviously, I was invited as my dearest brother was getting engaged to the love of his life, or should I say the supposed love of his life. I gathered all my courage, and I went there, and I'm not gonna lie, it was not easy, but anyways, good riddance. From such a toxic female. So, after they exchanged rings, my father got up for a speech and announced his retirement from the company as he was getting old and needs to keep his health in check, and thanked everybody who supported him. Well, that speech had a surprise ending. Yes, you'll be guessing it. He announced that I would be taking over as the CEO post, and I am the most capable employee who has a great business sense. The only thing that was exciting for me was Amy and Joe's expression, as I knew to them this announcement was like their biggest defeat ever. I saw Joe getting furious as he was no longer the one people looked up to, and Amy's face was literally crippling with regret. I was waiting for this announcement to take place so that I could happily ruin their engagement and walk out of it. Before I could do that, Joe got all furious and lost his mind. He directly went to our father and called him stupid for making this decision, as he thought that he was the one who deserved the position. He told him that whatever he had done was clearly not fair, and that he should reconsider making me the CEO, or else he would regret it. Dad simply told him that I was more mindful than him, and that is why I'm capable of the position. Well, before I could leave, Joe left Amy there and drove back to his car. In short, he created a big scene in front of everyone. Well, Amy, who was now regretting every single thing, tried to make her way towards me, and I noticed and I simply ignored her and left the party, as now even the idea of looking at her makes me want to throw up. I left the party, and I'm glad I would finally be able to buy myself without any constant nagging. I'm sure you all must be wondering where this CEO title came from. So, before the engagement party, I had met Dad outside the home as he was just checking in to see how I was doing. He told me that he was planning to surprise me with the post-CEO position as my wedding gift, but it did not happen as the wedding was called off. I couldn't believe what he had told me, guys. I felt so at ease. That is when I decided to keep this news a secret from everyone so they could get the shock of a lifetime. And guess what? My plan worked. I'm happy about it, and this is the exact point where I've left Joe and Amy behind. Also, a quick update once again. I recently started seeing somebody. I mean, we've gone on a couple of dates, nothing too big, and she's really supportive. I'm hoping for it to be a long-term thing, but anyways, at the same time, expecting nothing out of it such. Goodbye, everyone. Update number 2. Hey guys, here I am back with an update, and that too after 20 days, as I finally found the time to get back to you all. I hope you're all keeping well, and thank you for sending in so many messages. I'm so grateful for you all. However, these days I've been focusing on my work and trying to work things out with my girlfriend. It's been going really well. Something major happened, and that's why I'm here. So, now that I've become the CEO of the company, all of a sudden everybody has started looking up to me except for Joe, as he did not show up at the office since his engagement with Amy. However, Amy's been texting and calling me a lot these last days. Like literally so much that I had to block her number, as now I'll be a fool to respond to anything she has to say or do. And since I'm not responding, she decides to show up at my house. Obviously, I didn't let her in. When I asked her, what did she want? She simply said that she was checking up on me. LOL. I shut the door on her face. Even after being humiliated so much, she still decided to call me from a different number and ask me random questions every single day. All of a sudden, she was being nice to me for no apparent reason, and honestly to me it seemed abnormal. I mean, what does she want now? Now that she is with a capable man who can fulfill her desires, why does she need to talk with me? I was so irritated. Meanwhile, I've been hearing a lot about Joe, who's upset with our father for choosing me, a more superior post than him. What does he think of himself? I've been hearing random things these days, that he's planning things against me and all these rift rumors, but I simply do not care. My dad told me that he stopped asking and speaking to anyone and often comes home late, sometimes even in the morning, which explains that he's clearly upset. At this point, all I know is that this is karma that he's going through after what he did to me. The worst part is that I have to bear with Amy even when I don't want to. She's been sending super nice messages to me that sound super cringy. Last week she showed up at my door, this time crying like a hysterical woman. What a great actor she is, and I realized that I had moved on when her tears stopped bothering me. She went on her knees and apologized to me for everything that she had done. She told me that there has not been a day when she has not thought about me and how much she misses me. As if now I was going to believe her or something. Now that everything is going to change for me, she's claiming that she regrets marrying Joe, as he does not treat her well and is not at all respectful. I told her that she herself signed up for this, and now she has to face all the consequences. She begged me to take her back, as she does not love him as much as she loves me, but this time I was not going to be fooled. She said that she was ready to end her engagement with Joe if I'll accept her again, but I said no and simply pushed her out and shut the door in her face. I could hear her cry loudly outside. I didn't even care. And after some time she finally left. All of the drama that she had created made me realize that she was nothing more than a gold digger, who was ready to sell herself for a little bit of money. Glad that we're not together anymore. Oh yeah, I almost forgot to tell you, I proposed to Myra, my girlfriend, and we're soon planning to get married. But nobody knows, as we're planning a surprise for everybody. Anyways, take care. I will update you. Update number 3. Hey, guys, it's me. Well, hold on, everyone. I know that I said in the last update was going to be my last one, but you have to know what happened. I honestly thought it was all over for me, as now I have them in their place, but no, I was wrong. I'm a bit late in updating you all, and it's been a month since everything that happened, but finally I found some time today. Anyways, you all remember when Amy showed up at my place and created a scene and all? This time, while she was speaking, Joe was listening to the entire conversation. That meant he had followed her all the way. So he called everyone to our parents' house where he announced that I was a characterless man. When everybody asked him what made him think that, he simply said that I was trying to seduce Amy as I still loved her and wanted to win her over. So at the time, I simply rejected his baseless ideology and asked him to shut up. Of course, him being him, he came forward to hit me and we got into the most brutal fight we've ever been in. It was so bad that we both got injured, and that's when Amy interrupted us and announced that she was the one who approached me in the first place, because she, quote, loved me, and that her love for me was true. Even when I was in pain, I laughed at both of them, as it became evident what was Amy up to. It was fun to see the banter that was going on between them, which was pure entertainment, as now they're getting a taste of their own action. These two idiots arguing with each other who clearly have no respect, and it was fun to see how immature they were. Anyways, while they were fighting, I laughed at Amy and showed her a picture of my fiancée, Myra, who is 100 times more beautiful, and as per the situation, I announced my engagement in front of everybody, which was apparently supposed to be a surprise. Amy was heartbroken, I think, as her expression were visible and they were pretty obvious. On the other hand, Joe was still ready for a fight, and I rejected his proposal by thanking him for saving me from a gold digger like Amy, who's just after me for the sake of money and not feelings. And because of him, only I was able to meet my soulmate, Myra, whom I love deeply. The entire family laughed at them, and they were humiliated in the most horrendous way. Well, at this point, Joe threatens me, and tells me that he would come back for me, but now that I did not care about them at all. I simply warned him that if now both of them did anything to hinder my peace, I would ruin their lives in the best way possible for me. From now on, Joe should worry about his post, as I can fire him any day. It's actually funny how Joe turned into a scaredy cat and has stopped troubling me since I'm his boss. He knows that 1 foot out of line and I would fire him and he'd be left helpless. Recently he broke his engagement with Amy, and now they've been separated and Amy has left our lives for the good. Myra and I will be married soon, and one thing that's kept me strong throughout is the support that I've received from all of you guys. I'm so grateful to be part of this community, and I was able to make the right decision by putting out my thoughts over here and all the advice I got, so thank you, everybody, for being here. It means a lot to me. Good night, everyone.